Everybody except you know who. Everyone is welcome to pull up in the voice. To talk about price. Yes, send to everybody. Everybody. Let me share my screen. Where's the screen share? On Discord. Now screen share. Over here. A screen share. Good morning. Why I can't hear y'all popping in today? Can y'all hear me? What's up, Trey? What's up, Elliot? What's up, Hines? Can y'all hear me?
I hear
You hear me? Oh,
Now I'm
okay.
going back on mute.
You say you hear me now. I'm back on mute. What's going on, man? How y'all doing, man? I just dropped the boys off and I came back in to look at last night. Asian session was pretty good. I got a pretty good trade in the Asian session. I like when the Asian session like moves a lot. We had a lot of movement in the Asian session. I caught a long back up. And now we're just in this range, man. We're in a weird place where looking at the dollar. Yesterday when we was talking, I was like, the dollar looking like it's trying to make a reversal, right? And as you see, we still fighting in that range. We've after the news calendar here, we've made our way all the way back up. Like we're gonna attack this high over here. Right, the dollar is trying to set up a reversal. Like we always say, you know, whenever there's like an inkling of it on the higher time frame, right? We dropped, right? We reached that sell side. We did not touch that weekly fair value gap, which I would have loved to see us do. Y'all already know how I feel about fair value gaps below lows and above highs. When it's down there, that's just too tempting for the algorithm. I'm like, the algo wants that bad. And now we're pushing back up. We've pretty much, disrespected this bottom sibby right here because we've got a strong push above this consequent encroachment. Today's counter is not closed, so I'm not going to say we closed above it yet, but we came all the way to the top of it yesterday and rejected off. And now today we push back down into this down close counter here. This right here can be working out to be immediate rebalance because this counter opened, pushed down into the wick of Tuesday. Today's counter open, pushed down into the wick of Tuesday, and then we're way back up here. So this can work out to eventually be an immediate rebalance, and this immediate rebalance can potentially take us at least back up to this breaker right here, right? We can at least go back to that breaker right there, right? And I'm looking at this one because that's, from here to there, that's the overall move. And this is like the lowest. This is like from the first initial motion here. And then I'm looking at all of this right here sort of as a type of time distortion. And then we took off, right? Theoretically, if you want to like really look at it, you could say this was the breaker over here. But I like to start from the initial real move. This was the real move here, right? And then we consolidated and went back up. So that's why I'm looking at this as the break. What's up? What's up, Mendez? You was about to
You
say
good?
something? You was about to say something?
No, no.
Oh, I thought I heard something. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why I was looking at this as the bearish breaker, because this is at the God dog. I hear my mouse do that. Don't buy cheap. Don't buy a cheap mouse, man. It like sometimes when I move it, it does crazy things. But like I was saying, this was like the drop, and then we started to come back up. Then we consolidated and took off. So I'd be kind of ignoring the consolidation in the middle, but looking at that as the breaker right there. Plus is because it's the first one you get to. When it be like multiple breakers, I always give the priority to the first one that we hit. Right? I get a priority to the first one that we hit. But like I say, the dollar is looking like it's trying to reverse. So this consolidation right here, the reason why I'm so hesitant today is because we left a little piece of this SIBI at the top yesterday. I do not like that. I do not like how we left that little piece of that SIBI up there. I've seen lesser when the algo go back to get just a little piece. I've seen lesser, but it's looking, you know what I'm saying? It's looking really heavy, like it wants to come back and take care of some of this stuff here. And combined with the dollar looking like it want to try to make some kind of move up, but we're just in this weird place where the market isn't really giving us a clear direction, which doesn't surprise me. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't surprise me because when we look at it on, let's go to the weekly. When we look at it on a weekly level, and then I pull back, let me open up my old PDAs, right? If we look at it on a weekly level, last week we got into, we got into this weekly volume imbalance right here. I got it grayed out now. Because once we, you know what I'm saying, once I just changed the color on them. But we got into this weekly volume imbalance, right? And then last week, got into the weekly volume imbalance, got into the weekly liquidity void, right? Oh, let me put my fancy dancing on. I'm sorry. Windows key. Please don't put the computer to sleep, Tim. Okay. So we got into the liquidity void right up here at the top of the volume imbalance, right? The volume imbalance goes from 44.9950 up to 45.7450, right? And the liquidity void rests at the top of that. And then this week we got up into almost to the top of this weekly fair value gap. So once we reach weekly destinations like that right there, a lot of times we'll start to either consolidate or reverse. So it's not surprising to me that we've been shucking and jiving like we've been shucking and jiving. Because if you look here, right? If you look here, since we hit the volume imbalance, we pushed up to the top, consolidated, came up, came down, consolidated. But if you look in this area right here, we stayed in that range right there from Thursday the 13th, right, all the way over to Tuesday the 18th. We were in this area right here, right, inside that weekly volume imbalance and flirting with the liquidity void, right? Once we went to the top of the liquidity void and came back down on the 17th, right? And then Tuesday, the 18th, we pushed up into the weekly SIBI. And we've been in this range right here since Tuesday the 18th in the afternoon all the way up until now, right? So that's why I say it doesn't surprise me that we're just dilly-dallying because whenever I ain't gonna say whenever, most of the time when we get to like weekly destinations, right, we tend to consolidate a bit, or we'll just do an immediate reversal. And in this time, we're not doing the immediate reversal. We're just consolidating because the indexes has been extremely bullish and the dollar has been extremely bearish. So as we hit these higher time frame scenarios, right, we're continuing to climb. You know what I'm saying? We still climb. And so, you know, I'm not in the mind frame of trying to fight the trend, right? So at this point, I still don't have any type of bias because we're extremely extended. So I don't have a bias. I'm just taking what the market gives me. You know, I'm taking what the market gives me. Just like last night, I said I was able to get a nice trade in the Asian because when we opened up, we had a bearish new day opening gap and we dropped immediately, right? As soon as we dropped, we hit yesterday's low. Once we got to yesterday's low, I said, we're very extended from the close, right? We're extended from the close and we just hit sell side that I was expecting us to get yesterday, right? We never got it. And then we shot down and got it in the Asian. I was looking at us to take out this sell side right here, right? We came and got that sell side and took out the low of yesterday and backed up off of it, leaving just a little piece of this fair value gap right here, this hourly fair value gap. We never made it down to this hourly order block, right? Or this little hourly fair value gap right here, right? So I said, we rocketed down to get this sell side, right? I said, I'm going to watch to see if we start making a reversal. And as soon as we started making a reversal on the lower time frames, I can't remember what time frame it was. It might have been, let me look at the chart. Yes, it was the 5 minute, right? Right here. That was my entry right there, right? And when we got right here, that's when I ran the 10 minutis when we started to consolidate right here, because when we came down, if you notice on the lower time frame, we had come down to a 15-minute fair value gap that we had gotten on the top side of. I was expecting it to act as support. So once we started to reverse here, we got a closure above that 15-minute fair value gap, right? I went in right there on that. And if you notice, this is not my normal setup that I trade. It's not my breaker fair value gap combination, right? I'm taking it off of a fair value gap in an order block based off the fact that we're on top of this 15-minute BISI, expecting it to act as support. We just took out daily sell side when I was expecting us to take out this sell side yesterday, and we didn't. Shot down to it. When we extend this far, I'm looking for it to come back at least to here, right? So I'm just playing the reversal. It gave me the reversal sign here. I'm looking for it to play at least back into here. But once we got here, we started to consolidate. So y'all already know what I did. Grab the 10 minutis, right? With in mind, we got this new day opening gap up here. So I said, if this new day opening gap is the opposite end of these 10 minutis, with this being the middle, that's the target. All right. So come from the low once we took off. Probably have if I put my snap on. Clickety click. Hold that there for me. Thank you, guy. Come back. Set that in the consequent encroachment. Pull it up. I'm bringing it up to the high. I mean the close of this green candle right here, to this first down close candle. That's what I'm taking it to. That's the shift in sentiment right there. That short-term shift in sentiment. Push it up. Put it right on there. If I get my freaking tail on there. Push it up right on there. takes me right into the new day opening gap right there. Right there from the, there you go. Take me right to the new day opening gap right there. And if you go to, on the 5 minute, if you go to the leg that moved it, right, and come back to that same point right there, it puts you right at the new day opening gap. If you go from my entry leg, this was my entry leg, this was the low and the low. So from my entry leg, it puts you right at the new day opening gap right there, based off of this candle here. From that one there, it puts you up into it, and from the lowest of the low, it puts you about 3/4 of a way up. But based off of my entry leg right here, because this is the one I used last night, because I remember when I ran it, it landed right at the open. I mean the low, right at the low. So once we start consolidating right there, this was no longer my target, and the what's the name was my target, but I put my exit at this candle right here. Right there, I put my exit at the top of that candle right there. And the reason why I used the top of that candle right there was because I think on the lower time frame, let me see, something on the lower time frame made me want to put it there. Oh, there it is right there. Yes, on the 1 minute. On the 1 minute right there, there's an order block right there. So I put it at the low of this fair value gap right there. There's an order block there. So I put my target at the low. I mean, at the low of this SIBI right there. Because I was like, don't want to get up here and contend with this order block with my price sitting there at the new day opening gap, and our order block push us all the way back down. So that's why I chose to get out right there. But it turned out to be a nice trade. And I was just using the fact that we were below the new day opening gap, and we had rocketed down and taken out this sell side, right? And we had left a little piece up here, right? So I was like, we're gonna come at least back to the new day opening gap. Even though we look heavy, even though I'm like, hey, the dollar is trying to reverse, and the ES, you know what I'm saying, should want to come down and get some of this stuff that we've been leaving. It's not giving me anything concrete. This is all just my speculation of what the market should do, because it's not giving me anything concrete yet. It's not giving me anything concrete yet. And we're in a place where it's a lot of, I ain't gonna say a lot, but there's obstacles in between, right? So there's a lot of sell side building up under here, right? A lot of sell side building up under here, all right? So if we attack this sell side, the first thing we got to compete with is a imbalance right there on this 1 p.m. candle from Tuesday the 18th. This order block right here from this 12 p.m. candle from Tuesday the 18th, right? So once we hit this sell side, we have to contend with this order block to get back down to this fair value gap and this fair value gap. And if we get all the way down to this fair value gap, there's a 4-hour breaker right here and a 1-hour breaker. So we got breakers here at the bottom of this weekly fair value gap that we left a little piece at the top, right? So we're just in this weird place where we're consolidating, and it's not really. Let's look at the other 3 indices, right? That's why I'm in the place where I'm like, hey, I'm just trading what the market give me. I'm waiting for moves, and then I'm going in, looking at my divergence chart. Squanch this up. This been on here forever. Let me get this out of the way. Right. So we've come up and consolidated. We've come up and started to drop, come up, consolidated. So right now, the NQ is the weakest link out of them all because we've consolidated and started to pull back, but it's pulled back into this area of previous consolidation right there. And it looks like, is that a, yes, that is an imbalance that it traded down into. It's traded back down into this imbalance here, into this huge hourly order block right there. So the NQ is the weakest link as of now. The Dow is the relative strength leader as of now. And the ES, of course, is the red-headed stepchild in the middle. So the ES is taking out this low. The NQ being took out that low. The Dow still has not taken out that low. So the Dow is the relative strength leader. Dow is the relative strength leader. This area right here. I just go to this low right there, same area that I'm looking at. NQ has like blown, slapped through it. And the ES. Right. So that's what we're looking at as far as the indexes. Still got crazy divergence. The other day when we looked at it, the Dow was the one diverging, being the misfit. But now the NQ is the misfit today. And again, everybody rejected off the high. Right. As you see, yesterday when we started out, the Dow was being the misfit. Then it took off and it rejected off the high. The NQ rejected off the high. The ES rejected off the high. And now we are where we are. We're coming back down now and looking for that sell side again that we was just talking about. We're starting to ease down, trying to get back down into that sell side again. Got back below yesterday's low. As you see, for overnight, when we got below yesterday's low, we closed back above it. That was what gave me confidence to think that we were going to come back up to at least here. Right? We was going to come back up to at least there. And then now if we come back and attack this sell side and get a closure below this, then I will start looking at this order block. All right, start looking at this order block. If we can get through mean threshold of the order block at 45.7425, then I'll start looking at this fair value gap down here at 45.66 even. All right. If we reject off of this low, my attention would be on this SIBI if we happen to create it right here. If we happen to create this hourly SIBI, my attention would be on that. Right, my attention would be on this if we create it, because this hourly candle is just starting. So can't say it's officially a SIBI yet, because we can easily come down. We just got below the we just took out the sell side and got that little piece. Remember I said we left a little piece of that fair value gap down there. We just came and got that little piece. Right. Remember I tell you, I've seen less. Remember I talk about this right here. So look at there. Look at that. It just played out in real time. It just played out in real time. We left this little piece of this fair value gap last night on the 6 o'clock candle, right? So from 7 o'clock last night up until 9:08 today, the market went all the way up here, all the way down to there, all the way back up there, all the way back down, just to get a little piece of that fair value gap right there. Now, let's see if we continue down. Will we continue down, or will we reject again and start back up toward the new day opening gap? Let the market show you what it wants to do. Pay attention to the candle closures during key times of day. Pay attention to the candle closures from 9:30 to 12. Pay attention to the candle closures. Where are they closing? What are they reaching for? It's not giving us any clear runs. Hey, this is where I'm running to. So just pay attention to the candle closures. Where are they closing between 9:30 and 12? Right? If they're taking sell side and hanging below the sell side, right? Look for a retracement back to enter short. If they're taking out buy side and hanging above the buy side, look for a retracement back to go long, right? If they're taking out sell side, rejecting quickly and running up and taking out buy side, look for a retracement back to go long, and vice versa. Just let price show you what it wants to do. Remember what I ain't gonna say what we always say. What we have been saying of recent times. Where's my picture? I've always thought this in my head, but I've been sharing it with everybody recently. Market only gonna do two things. It's gonna consolidate, expand, retrace, and deliver, or it's gonna consolidate, expand, reverse, retrace, and deliver. Just understand which one that you're in. When you don't have a clear draw, right? Sometimes you have to, if you don't have a clear draw, you have to wait a little longer for the confirmation. And let me explain what I mean by utilizing this area where I took a trade last night, right? So let's go back down to the 5-minute light. I could do it off the hourly, right? If I had a clear draw on liquidity, right? When price came down to this hourly fair value gap right here, I could have entered as soon as it hit this fair value gap for going long to come back up here. If I understood that price was going to come down here and come back up, if I had a clear draw on liquidity, if my draw on liquidity was up this way and we took off to the downside, I could just get long right there, boom, and go. But since I don't have a clear draw on liquidity, let's go to the 5-minute time frame, right? Since I don't have a clear draw on liquidity, when price dropped down here, right, start to consolidate, I needed this expansion right there. That expansion right there, breaking this short-term high on the 5-minute, that was what I needed to say, okay, we're going here. So I took this expansion, retracement, into here, deliver, right? This, since I didn't have a clear draw on liquidity, I had to let price come down, take out this sell side, consolidate, and then give me expansion in the opposite direction, leaving this imbalance behind by this order block right there. And then when it pulled back down into there, boom, got long here. So that's what I mean by if you got a clear draw on liquidity, you can enter as soon as it hits a PD array. But if you don't have a clear draw on liquidity, then I advise you, I ain't gonna say advise, what I do is I wait for price to confirm what it wants to do, right? Once it get to an area. So sit back and let it confirm. We're starting to push down, getting close to this order block down here on the 5 minute. On the 5 minute, we broke below, rejected off, closed below, right? Let me put my line on, right? Close just above the bodies there, but close below that old prior low. And now we're pushing down again. We got 46 seconds left on this candle on the 5 minute, looking like we may get a closure below this old PD array right here. This old, what is this? I think it's a 15-minute BISI. Why can't I put, yes, a 15-minute BISI. Is a 15-minute BISI that we've getting back down below. Look at the 15-minute. Since it's a 15-minute candle, we got 21 seconds left on this 15-minute candle, looking like it's going to be a strong closure below here. So since we got that strong closure below there, retracement back, coming back up into it, you would have to watch this right here. This low there, give priority to that. But remember, we have this breaker right here. We got a breaker right here. Now over here, we got this. This right here would be a mitigation block right there. We got a mitigation block there first, but we got a breaker up here. So since this is a mitigation block and this is a breaker, I'll pay attention to that. If price hit this and kept down, I would just miss it because I don't trust mitigation blocks like that. But coming back up to this breaker and this hourly fair value gap right there, come back up, I would be looking for a short off of this. But I hate when it be this big, because on this 15-minute, we got a 15-minute imbalance in here. So I need for it to come all the way back up here. That's just my trading style. If we don't get all the way back up here into this imbalance up here, it's just gonna have to go without me, because that's too much upside risk to come off the low end of this 1 hour fair value gap right here. That's too much risk up here, because we got 2 SIBIs above. We got a 15-minute SIBI inside the 1 hour SIBI. Then we got another 15-minute SIBI above. It's too much upside risk. I need it to come all the way back up here. Matter of fact, looking at it, I need to come. If it do anything, this 1 hour fair value gap and keep going down, it's going to do it without me. I ain't even going to hold you, because we got another breaker right here. Right, we got another breaker up here with this imbalance up there. Right, so we got a breaker here with this hourly imbalance. Right, we got an imbalance there. We got a breaker there and another imbalance here with a mitigation block right there. So yeah, I need to come way back up here. I ain't interested in nothing. It's just gonna do it without me. You know what I'm saying? First of all, because let's run these Fibonacci's. See, right there, Fibonacci's putting up. See that? I'm saying I need to come back up here. Then I said, I need to come back up there. Right there, that's right at equilibrium. So if it felt that, it can very well go back down. But we still got this mitigation block and imbalance up here. That's right there. See that? I did the wrong thing. Right there. Mean threshold of that breaker is right there at the close of that mitigation block right here at roughly 75% of that imbalance there. So, yeah. Anyway, man, that's my thoughts on price. That's what I'm looking at. all this other stuff down here, if it don't, if it don't give me what I want as far as for the short side, now that we've got this extended down here, if we get down into this order block right down here where I got it marked out with this order block question mark on the 1 hour, if we get down to this order block and give me some type of reversal signal, I would take a long back up, minding this mitigation block, minding this breaker, and targeting this fair value gap here, depending on how far down we go. That is my thoughts. Does anyone have anything for me? Anybody want to share anything? Anyone want to share anything that they've been watching or they're looking at, or anything that I missed on the charts? Let's see what the dollar doing. 1 hour. Dollar took out that buy side. Got a nice strong closure on this 8-hour candle that we've pushed up. Tap that buy side, ease it back. Look like we're trying to work on a Bessie right here. We've been taking care of everything. Careful not to leave any imbalances to the downside on the dollar. So the dollar trying to march back up. Got buy side resting up here above this 1 a.m. candle from Thursday and 2 a.m. candle from Thursday. Buy side rested above there. Anybody put anything in the chat?
Yo, Tim.
Yeah, what's happening?
I think one thing I'm watching just to see what it does. Like we right inside of a daily fair value gap right now on the ES, and the CE of that daily fair value gap lines up perfectly with the top of the weekly volume imbalance that we crossed through.
Yeah, right here.
Last week. So I'm kind of watching that.
Yeah.
Just seeing the CE of that daily fair value gap is right on the top of that volume imbalance that we went through, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to see how it might act.
Yeah.
Once it get down to that area, if it gets all the way down there,
Mm-hmm. And I had that. I got that on. I had it showing on the daily only. I got it showing on the daily because once I dropped low, I think it was some other stuff in there, and it was looking to it's an hourly fair value gap in that same area right there. So like right here is the top of that volume imbalance that you talk about right there, where I got that on. And matter of fact, that's the mean threshold of that order block. The same. It's all at the same spot. Let me go back to the daily.
So when you said that about the mean threshold, that order block, I was like, that lines up with what I was just looking at it from a different way. You reminded me I need to look at that. Yeah.
So yep, that daily fair value gap right there you talk about, and then I got that set on that. I got that fib tool, that black line right there, that 45.74.25. That's the order block on the lower time frame. Right, but it's the consequent encroachment of the daily fair value gap, just like you said. It's like that's like that confluence there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Where's my charts at?
Appreciate you bringing up that order block, because that gave me some more, because I wasn't even looking at that at first. Then when you said, I'm like, that match up perfectly with what I'm watching, just as just to see what it does when it get down there. It's not like I'm gonna have an order parked or anything. I'm just trying to see what it does when it get there.
Yup, same thing. Looking for same thing. When we get to that order block, want to see how price act when it get to that order block. If it give me a reversal sign, take it back up into something up here. Like I was saying before, it's a million ways to skin a cat, man. Once you learn all the concepts, you know what I'm saying? It's a million ways to skin a cat. You ain't got to try to use all of them, but it give you opportunity to sit down and watch price without panicking. You know what I'm saying? Like you had your thing you was looking at, and then I mentioned something else, and you like, wait a minute, that's lining up with mine. So that's another layer of, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, well, appreciate it. That's all I wanted to say. That's about it.
Okay, appreciate that. Who that typing? Somebody typing. Who typing? I'm recording this too. I'm gonna put it on YouTube for anybody that's in the Discord that didn't pop up. I did the same thing yesterday. I posted the video. Afterwards, I recorded it using Streamlabs OBS. Yes, looking. Let me see what I say. Looking. What I say? Yeah, get out of the way. Yes, looking good in golden zone. What's a golden zone? What that mean? What golden zone mean? Is that like OTE, like your area where you enter for OTE?
It's probably talking about that field zone, that down in that 62 to 70
Yeah.
some percent zone.
That's why I asked, was it OT? Because say in the golden zone, that's what you call the OTE area where you enter in at. She typing right now. Yes, OT. Okay then. Okay, yeah. See, they go another layer of something else. You got OTE right there in the same area as the consequent encroachment, as the mean threshold, as it's just layers when we on a 4 hour. That's OTE on a 4 hour right there. So it's like if you don't see, that's another thing about dropping through the time zones. Like me and Trey talked about this on the phone one time, if I ain't mistaken. Like when you drop through the time frames, it's like you start to see other ICT concepts playing out in the same spot as your ICT concept. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the beauty of the concepts where, like, she looking at a OTE on a 4 hour, right? I was looking at an order block on an hourly, and Trey was looking at consequent encroachment of a fair value gap on a daily, right? So if you a fair value gap trader, you know what I'm saying, your trade was there. It was based off of a daily time frame. If you're an OTE trader, your trade was there. It was based off 4 hours. If you're an order block trader, your trade was there and it's based off an hour, and it's all in the exact same spot. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much. But it's just like, what time frame are you looking at? And you can't just focus on one time frame. Well, you can focus on one time frame, but if you understand the concepts and know how to look through the time frames, you can get into refining your entry. Like we was talking about refining on lower time frames, right? If you want to refine your entry to lower your risk that you got to put into the trade, or if you just want to get confluence, like, okay, I see this order block there where I'm trying to get in on a fair value gap, where somebody trying to get in on an OTE, all of this lining up. You know what I'm saying? So everybody about to be right, but ain't nobody entering for the exact same reason. You know what I'm saying? That's just the beauty of the concepts. That's what I like about it. I mean, I ain't no ICT fanboy, but you know what I'm saying? When I find something that I like, you know what I'm saying, I just share it with people. I really don't care what anybody trade. This is just what I use. It worked for me. And hey, Bob's your uncle, man. Hey man, I would go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. And where's my it's different on this stream, stream yard.
Hey Tim,
Yeah.
can I say just one more thing for everybody that's on here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Man, I was going through some of Tim's videos trying to see if there's anything that I may have missed. And man, I saw a video where you spoke about the bridge building video by ICT, and I hadn't even watched it yet. I missed it some kind of way. That came in the last year. If it's anybody on here, like, watch that bridge building video. It really does help put the pieces together as far as the thought process and putting logic behind all of our trades. You know, like, just give it a chance. If you haven't seen his bridge building video, I definitely think it's worth a watch. Tim spoke about it once, and I just wanted to add my 2 cents on that and say thank you for bringing that up, because that video, I missed it last year, but that video really helped me, man. It really, really did.
Yeah, it helped me too. That's why I spoke on it. It's like it like that was like my biggest aha moment. Watching that video, that was my biggest aha moment. Like how he was talking about putting the pieces together to get there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, man, it was crazy. It helped me a lot. That's why, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying it like this. It probably won't help everybody, but if you like study a lot of the concepts, it's really helpful because it shows you how to really put the pieces of the puzzle together. Like I was just talking about all the different concepts that was being looked at for the same area that we were just watching all together, but looking at it from different aspects, but or angles, whatever you want to say. But like that bridge building video tells you how to take these different pieces and build. And if you don't want to use it all, it also teach you once you look through it and you don't see your he called them the multiplier. The multiplier is your PD array that you use. If you don't see it, it teaches you just to sit back and don't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? If you look at the price and you don't see your multiplier there, it's not your trade. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, I appreciate that trade for bringing it up. That is a good video. I look at it I still look at it every now and then. I used to keep it on repeat, but I still look at it every now and then now because it is a good video just to get my mind right. With that, I'm gonna wrap up the video. I appreciate y'all for tapped in, man. If y'all gonna trade, please trade safe. If you're not gonna trade, please take copious amounts of notes and study what you saw today, even though you're probably watching this after the market is closed. Big Spider, go. Yeah.